Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our information seminar. As I introduced just now, I'm Zhou and the program leader for one of our program, the Master of Science in Civil Engineering. And with me, we have Professor Jinxia Liu. She is the Deputy Program Leader for the second program, Master of Science in Environmental Management and Engineering. In this information seminar, we will give you some introduction to our department and also the two master programs. Our department has a long history. Actually, we were established in 1973, so we have a history of roughly 52 years. Over the years, we have made a lot of changes, actually. I just give you one example. In the past, the original name of our department is Department of Civil and Structural Engineering. In 2012, the name was changed to Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Why do we need to make these changes? Because environmental management and engineering is becoming more and more important. So we want to better meet the needs of our society. There are more examples. For the time of interest, I will not go through all of them. If you are interested, you can read a lot of useful information about our department from the website and also some other social medias. Currently, our department has 5 major fields, including structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, hydraulic engineering, environmental engineering, as well as transportation and construction. It's clear that our department covers a very wide range of fields. If your background is related to any of them, you are most welcome to apply for our master programs. We have a lot of students, including around 800 undergraduate students, 300 master students, and about 350 PhD students. So in total, we have around 1,500 students currently. Regarding the academic and teaching staffs, we have around 80 academic members, including 7 chair professors. I just highlight 3 of them. The first one is Professor Jinxia Liu. He is also the president of the whole university. He is the chair professor of structural engineering. The second example is Professor Ben Yang. He is the vice president of PolyU. He is also chair professor of steel structure. The third one is Professor Xiangdong Li. He is the dean of our faculty and the chair professor of environmental engineering. If you come to study at PolyU, you may have chance to take the subject and interact with the world-leading research experts. Our department has been well recognized internationally. This slide summarizes some key rankings by subject. I just select several of them to highlight. According to Shanghai ranking, we are number 3 in civil engineering and number 1 in transportation science and technology. According to the US News, we are number 2 for civil engineering and number 18 for environmental engineering. All of these numbers are the ranking globally, including all the universities in the world. If we focus on Hong Kong, for most of these rankings, we are number 1 in Hong Kong, actually. Many of our professors are world-leading experts. They are all very excellent and active in the research areas. This year, 29 CEE scholars, it means the professors from our department has been ranked top 2% scientists by the Stanford University. I just highlight several of them. In this slide, we have around 9 professors. The first one is Professor Jin Guangteng, as I introduced just now. He is the president of PolyU. He is also the academician of the Chinese Academy of Science, as well as International Fellow of Rural Academy of Engineering. The second example is Professor Zhou. He is the fellow of Australian Academy of Technological Science and Engineering. Professor Agzoli is also the fellow of Rural Academy of Engineering, UK. Our professors have received a lot of international and national awards. This particular slide just gives you one example. We list the national awards from the State Council of China. This award is very competitive and prestigious. So far, we have 6 professors receive the award, including the Innovation Award and also the Natural Science Award. Our research is widely funded by the government and the industry. This slide just shows you one example, the SEM-based research scheme. This research scheme was established by the Hong Kong government to address academic excellence and the research effort on the themes of strategic importance to the long-term development of Hong Kong. It has a history of around 15 years, and each year the government supports around 5 projects. So based on simple calculation, we know there are only around 75 projects. Out of this 75 projects, 4 of them are from our department. It means the research in our department is very, very excellent. Not only the research, SEM-based research scheme, our research is also supported by a lot of other research grants, including the Research Impact Fund, the Green Tech Fund, and also the Collaborative Research Fund. These 4 examples are all from the project last year. We also have a lot of strong research platforms, especially 1 state key laboratory and 2 Chinese national engineering research centers. In addition to the national platforms, we also have some internal research center and also research institute to promote the collaborative research, such as the Research Institute for Climate Resilient Infrastructure, the 3D Concrete Robotic Printing Research Center, the Nature-Based Urban Infrastructure Solution, as well as carbon neutrality. Just from the names, you can feel that we are doing very advanced research, very different from the traditional civil engineering. In addition to the research platforms, we also have a lot of other research facilities, such as the 30 laboratories. In each of the labs, we have many advanced research equipments to support the research as well as teaching. Okay, this is a very brief summary about our department. For the following slide, I just give you some introduction to our 2 master programs. I will mainly focus on the Master in Civil Engineering. Professor Liu will talk about the Master in Environmental Engineering and Environmental Management. For our first program, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, this particular slide summarizes the program aims. First of all, we allow our students to pursue in-depth knowledge and also broaden the knowledge of civil engineering. Secondly, we want to develop the design capability of our students. Apart from the technical content, we also want to improve our students' strategic thinking and also the learning capabilities. This is very important for the long-term development of our graduates. To meet the program aims, we have designed very good curriculum. Currently, there are 3 areas of study in our curriculum. The first main area is structural engineering. The second one is transportation engineering. The last one is general civil engineering. In each of these main areas, we have included a lot of good subjects. In general civil engineering, we have around 10 subjects, including advanced rock engineering, analytical and numerical methods in geotechnical engineering, coastal process and engineering, construction management and law, construction technology, drainage design, geohazard risk management and mitigation, and construction planning, as well as advanced soil mechanics. For the second core area, transportation engineering, we have 6 subjects: development of transportation infrastructure, public transport, smart transport, traffic engineering and control, transport management, urban transport planning. For the last core area, structural engineering, we have 8 subjects: advanced reinforced concrete, advanced structural design, bridge engineering, facade engineering, seismic design and building infrastructure, smart infrastructure, tall building structure, and wind engineering. So in summary, we have around 25 core subjects. The pool is very diverse to meet the different interests and needs of our students. In addition to the core subject, we also have a lot of other subjects. The first one is dissertation. At the PolyU, in our program, dissertation is just optional. Some students take a dissertation, some students may not take a dissertation, depending on the interest of our student. If the student take a dissertation, the workload is equivalent to 3 subjects. So you can use this dissertation to replace 3 subjects. Later on, Professor Liu will give you more details. If you take this one, you need to do some research. You need to prepare a dissertation and pass the oral examination. This is the basic requirement. We also have a lot of electives. This list is just recommended electives. Of course, if you want to take other subjects, you are allowed to choose electives not only from our department, but also beyond our department, as long as the subject is offered by PolyU and the depth of knowledge is equivalent to master subject. Finally, we allow some good students to take level 6 subject. At PolyU, level 6 subject mean the subjects for PhD students. Compared with a common master subject, the level 6 subjects are more difficult, so you can pursue more in-depth knowledge, but of course, it would be more challenging. Okay, this is the basic information about the first program. Then Professor Liu will give you some introduction to the second program.
So my name is Jinxia Liu. I'm going to introduce you the other taught postgraduate program here in CEE at PolyU. So MSc in Environmental Management and Engineering. This program is designed for both professionals, so who actually have a full-time job, as well as for recent graduates who want to strengthen their foundation in science engineering and also gain practical applied knowledge that you can use in real work settings. So as you know, environmental program in general is multidisciplinary, right? Blending engineering, science, management. Because of that, our student backgrounds are very diverse. But in general, we see them as two major groups. The first group is for students don't really have very formal or systematic environmental training, but I want to move into environmental work. So for these students, the study nature is more we call it conversion nature. The other group are the students who already have environmental engineering or civil engineering background and want to go deeper and more advanced level. Across both groups, we place strong emphasis on sustainability, infrastructure development, and a currently broader push towards carbon neutrality. And because of that, so our characteristic of our program is that we offer both in-depth track and a conversion style track. So students generally comment they like this kind of the option because you have depth, you have a flexibility. So whether you are continuing in your past education in environmental engineering or want to switch in from another discipline, there is path for your study. Also, you don't have to follow a very rigid route. You can choose from engineering or management subjects to build a course plan that fits your goal, whether you want a more technical or more management. So very similar to civil engineering program, we also divide it into 3 core areas of study. Environmental engineering on the right, more traditional. Middle is environmental management, and the other new one is carbon neutrality. So now I'm just going through some of the major subjects in each area. So what you are seeing here are the courses for environmental engineering. So we have here, you can see on the slides, air pollution control, indoor air management, air quality management. We also have noise and vibration control, as well as traditional subjects such as solid waste management, wastewater treatment. So these are just classic core subjects or skill area, very useful if you are aiming to work in consulting, utilities, environmental services, or infrastructure projects or jobs. So the next one is environmental management, and the focus is on the tools used in decision making. So these subjects include environmental impact assessment, environmental management system and audit. So these 2 subjects are really popular because a lot of students find they're very useful for their jobs. And other subjects include risk assessment, sustainable development and planning. We also have another subject that link environment with transportation, so urban transport planning. And for carbon neutrality subjects, so this is a key feature and also a kind of new courses we have introduced in the past few years. You can see the subjects are carbon focused. For instance, building carbon footprint assessment, low carbon construction materials, global climate change and society response. We also have particular subjects on coastal process because we are in a coastal area. The last one is sustainable finance. So this is a course you take outside the department, actually taught by people from finance management backgrounds. A lot of students also really like this new area of subjects. So in overall, you can see the breadth of the courses or subjects we offer here. So it's for this carbon neutrality, this is depending on your background. You can also see called elective or core. I'm going to talk about the subtle differences between these subjects categories. Also similar to civil engineering, so there's other advanced options. Some students choose to do dissertation. Very similar requirement, also similar, is aside from the entrance English requirements. Before you can choose dissertation, you have to pass the technical English test. So this is a smaller test that we give you at the beginning of the first semester. Similarly, electives are not limited to subjects offered in my department. We have 3 other departments in the Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Construction. So BRE, BLL, SGI. So you can think about this broader, bigger in civil engineering kind of subjects. There's a lot of others courses that you can choose from. Within the civil, we also have these advanced level courses. So these courses are typically offered to PhD students. But if you have a strong technical background, if you have strong English skill and a solid GPA score, you can apply and we can place you in these subjects. Courses like urban big data, environment, climate change are very popular courses. All right, so in the next few slides, I'm just going to provide you some key practical program information, exactly how the study works, durations, and overall structure of the program. So we call this program as like a mixed mode. This is just offer flexibility, whether you currently have a job or, you're just kind of want to study right after your bachelor degree. So if you want to study full-time, the program is either 1 year. 1 year means you take courses only. You start from September and you graduate, actually finish all the coursework in May next year. So it's actually not less than 1 year, it's about 10 months. If you take a dissertation option, in total, it will take you, we say, 1.5 years. So you start in September, you finish December the year after. So together it's like 16 months. So these are for full-time students. For part-time students, whether you do thesis or not, generally it's going to take 2.5 years because, in general, you can only take these courses in the evening time. So it's going to take a bit longer time. Don't worry about it. We'll help you to map out the study plan so that fits your schedule. Make sure you meet all the requirements. There's a different way of looking at, thesis versus non-thesis option. I don't think my laser pointer work, but when you look at the right option 2, so this is just very straightforward, course only, 10 subjects in total. That means you take about 5 subjects per semester. And on the left, option 1 is, okay, you decide to dissertation. So dissertation counts for 3 credits, 9 credits, like an equivalent of 3 courses, and you take 7 subjects. On the bottom, you also see some numbers. We have a distinction of core subjects versus elective, right? So you understand core subjects is subjects everyone must take. So the number here, 4 or 7, are the minimum numbers that you must take for core subjects. And for the rest, each student choose different elective subjects. And the number here, 3 on both sides, are the maximum number of elective you can take. Okay, so if your goal is really to upskill for work, and you want to kind of finish the program in the shortest possible time, so of course, option 2, the course only option is the most direct and time efficient route. But if you want to have some research experience and understand, want to know what's doing research like, or even thinking about maybe in the future I'm going to do a PhD, so the dissertation option is definitely a good choice. You take a little bit more time, but you give you a bit more thinking and also a bit kind of more experience to see if I really want to pursue advanced research in the future. Okay, these are additional information. So a graduation is not only about taking courses or dissertation credits, right? So there are a few university-wide requirements. They're really not very difficult. One is just online tutorial on academic integrity. I'm sure you're taking subject like that before, but you're in the future, you're going to be in here, and we're actually going to go through the very similar set of principle again. We also have another 3-hour online module to understand the politics and then the current situation in Hong Kong and China, and also followed by 3-hour self-study and with assessment component. Again, university-wide requirements, all the students, MSc students at Poly have to complete them. Very straightforward, not difficult. They don't take a lot of time, but it's good to, plan them into your schedule. Lastly, a little bit about admissions and English requirements. So on the left for the MSc in civil engineering, so we normally expect a bachelor's degree with honors in civil engineering or equivalent qualifications. But on the right, for environmental management and engineering, of course, the background is a bit wider, so we accept students from a lot of engineering subjects as civil, environmental, chemical, mechanical engineering, also building services. We also take students from applied sciences, agriculture sciences, marine sciences, and chemistry, so on and so forth. As for English language requirements, we follow kind of more typical or standard requirements. So you need to have English, you need to pass, you have to achieve certain score for these standard English tests, right? TOEFL is 80, internet-based, or ICLT, the overall score need to be at least a 6.0. Of course, if you are English speaker or you receive your bachelor degree from university where the major language of instruction is English, of course, you don't need to submit this English score. And the admission, so Hong Kong U, we actually don't distinguish the tuition fees for local or non-local students. So civil engineering program is 8,000 per credits. You do a quick math, and the environmental is $7,200 per credit. We also offer scholarships. So these are the either full tuition waiver or half tuition waiver. This is really based on your, academic performance or GPA. So no separate application is required. So awardee will be informed of the results individually. As far as the timeline, this year a little bit different. Even though we say we divide into early rounds or main round or extended rounds, we basically review applications like really as soon as your application is submitted, we start to review them and we start to give you decision very fast. So no matter, I don't know if many of you have applied or you're thinking of applying. So the time window is pretty broad, but also remember that we actually have a quota, right? Once we fill all the quotas, if you submit your application late, we have no way to kind of admit you. So if you're interested, my advice to you is to apply, as soon as possible. Here you also see QR code, so you can scan them. You can find out, all these practical we mentioned. For scholarship, there's a little bit more information in there, but you can read online as well. All right, that's it. So in the end, so you're gonna see the contact information. So including program leader, deputy program leader, these are the professors who teach the courses, manage the program. Also, you can also email the support staff in our general offices. Our emails are here. So really feel free to contact us. We're really happy to talk through with you course selections or dissertation options, or which pathway makes the most sense based on your background. Of course, we can also take questions now or after the session. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention. We'll open floor for, for questions.
For the civil engineering, we have around 100 students this year. And regarding the student recruited already, I think we have secured at least 70% of the student, the positions. So if you are interested in our program, please apply as soon as possible. as mentioned by Professor Liu, even though we have several rounds, but actually we review and give offers very quickly.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you only asked civil, but I'm also give you some numbers for environmental and management engineering. This year's quota is also 100. As for the actual number, it's a little bit hard to say because right now we probably filled half, but we also have students who are in the process of deciding. So we'll hear from them very soon. So right now there's some numbers that moving. So the number I tell you today may be a little bit different from tomorrow. Again, I think based on the rate, I think we might able to fill up the quota a bit sooner than previous year because we start giving out offer early. So it's really strongly recommended if you're thinking about it, serious thinking about it, and you really need to, submit your application soon.
There is one question about the scholarship.
Yeah. No, exactly. There you don't just one application. So we there's no separate applications required. Based on your academic performance, if you meet our GPA cutoff, will give you a scholarship. So these are these numbers changes every year, so we don't really have a fixed number. But if you think you're academically very strong, there's a high chance you'll get either half tuition waiver, or in a few cases we have full tuition waivers.
One student asked about the dissertation.
Yeah, it's about, I think it's about modular integrated construction. Does university has laboratory research facilities?
This one is related to civil engineering. For me, let me to answer first.
Yeah.
The topic of the dissertation is subjected to the agreement between the student and the supervisor. If you choose a dissertation, you need to choose a supervisor first, and then you need to discuss with your supervisor in detail about the selection of the topic. Of course, if the supervisor is also interested in this specific topic, you can work on this one. Indeed, in our department, we have several professors working in this area. So if you're interested, you can talk to the professor and choose them as your supervisor. I think we may not be able to carry out very large scale tests at the university, but we can have some small scale tests in lab.
I wonder if some students are going to take, the kind of standard master program exam soon in mainland China. I think there are students, they take these exams first, and then some also at the same time they keep option open, see, if they come to Hong Kong. So now going through the same kind of standard master program option as in mainland China, because mainland China, I think a lot of them tend to be pretty research intensive, right? 2.5 years and 3 years sometimes. So that's a bit different. We offer more of course-based for this particular Master of Science program. Of course, we have other type of program that's more research intensive, but this one is I would say more upskill for work, but there's a component for you if you decide to do more research. So that's the dissertation option. If you do very well, and we also have students that transition eventually into PhD program, but that's a separate application, but can do it as well.
Yeah, just a supplement a little bit about an explanation by Professor Liu. Actually, if you come to Hong Kong and graduate from Hong Kong Polytechnic University, you are allowed to work in Hong Kong, and also even though you can't get a job immediately, you can stay in Hong Kong for 2 years and without any requirement. because you are graduate from Polytechnic University, so you are eligible to stay in Hong Kong for 2 years, even though you don't have job. And if you want to work in Hong Kong for a long time after 7 years, including a study period, you can become as a permanent resident of Hong Kong.
And I think one thing is, I think it's very, as you know, that here we offer English program, so all the subjects are taught in English, right? You're really fully immersed in English for entire year, which is very important if you have, international kind of plan, right? Whether you're gonna work in Malaysia in the future, because there are, engineering projects that offer in other countries as well. Malaysia, Thailand, there's a lot of development, and those places, having improved, better English skill definitely is a plus. So, so this is one of reason why some people come to Hong Kong, right? You're not gonna be far away from your home, but you can be fully immersed in the English instruction environment. So yeah, so I mean, again, feel free to reach out to us, whether to me and Professor Zhou or the other two program leaders who are now online. Feel free to reach out and or ask the general office for any questions you have. Thank you very much for joining us. And okay, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.